Last week, as we began our process of that, it was our process of collective grief, we shared what we felt had been lost. This service will take a look at what's left. So as I speak the land acknowledgement, I invite you to think about what the Nisenan have left and consider our collective and individual role in helping them repair. With this basket of black oak acorns, we express our heartfelt desire that the Nisenan people recover more and more of their rich cultural heritage. We commit to supporting them in these and other efforts in whatever way we can, under their guidance and their request.
We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up. This is one of those songs by, I think, one of our tremendous musical healers in the world, Melanie DeMore. And although Melanie lives right in the Bay Area nearby, I learned this song in East Lansing, Michigan, most of the way across the nation when they came to do a workshop, and then again in Beaufort, South Carolina, when Melanie came out to do a workshop for threshold singers who sing for people as they're facing the end of life often or difficult journeys. And Melanie explains that with this song, it's not a happy, happy, everybody's up. It's a ground yourself, we gotta pick everybody up. That takes some work. So every time we get to that up, I invite you to, in your spirit and your body, think a little bit of lifting up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up, hold everybody up, 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 hold everybody up, 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 hold everybody up, 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 ready? Hold everybody up. So the first up goes up, the second up goes down. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up. Just because you look like you and I look like me, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. You're not my enemy. No, we gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up. People all around the world sometimes feel so sad, but when others show they care, well, things don't seem so bad. Yeah, we gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. Thank you, Reverend Dr. King, for showing us what love can bring. Thank you, Madiba, for lifting up South Africa. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up. Yep. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Last time. Hold everybody up, up, up. One more. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up. Evan Matroka on bass.
Each week we light our chalice as a symbol of community, the flame of hope, the light to guide us. May it open us to see and hear more clearly our role to repair and bring new life to those things that we hold most dear. Today, we artfully light our chalice with the words of two of our own poets. Eileen?
I look to the colors of my stitching, bright, clear wine, orange like sunlight, fresh, sweet blue rippling like water, a strip of young green diving through. Layer on layer, stitch on stitch, they build solidity I long for, shaping wisdom orderly, building home and safety. Sow it with mockingbird song in the moonlit heart of the night. Sow it with the wet song of tears and clean rain. Stitch some more, coral into spring green, the two colors of breathing, hemoglobin and chlorophyll.
What's left? I'll read this through twice. It's short, don't worry. So what's left? What remains? I have seen her face in the whirlwind, eyes shining clear and bright. Her breath wraps melodies on window panes. Her breath never ends. I have seen her breath walking through window panes, helping us lift up our spirits, lift up our souls. I have seen her breath. I have seen her face in the whirlwind, eyes shining clear and bright. Her breath wraps melodies on window panes. Her breath never dies.
Thank you, Carl, and thank you, Eileen. And with that spirit and with the light of the energy, the light of the intent and insight of the poems, the light of this community, we send a piece of it with our youngest ones to Kids Connection and with the song, This Little Light of Mine. Again, it's a song that can be sung lightly, and it's a song that can be sung with substance. We sing it with substance.
I'm hopping up and down today. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of the mountains on this glorious fall day. It is as if nature herself is soothing our wounded spirits and reminding us of how much we still have. I'm Gail Vaughan, one of your worship team. We have the exquisite role of working with Reverend Kevin to craft and share each Sunday's worship experience. One of the best parts is getting to welcome you. As I stand here looking out at you here in the room, you out there in Zoom world, my heart is filled with love for all of you. I just really feel it. Those aren't just words. I mean, this is the best part of my week. Wow. Maybe this is your experience too. Maybe you're feeling the love for those you know here, or those who you're just getting to know, or those who you don't know yet, but like me, are really looking forward to know. If this community is newer to you, maybe you're hoping that this can be a place for those feelings for you too. Welcome, welcome. This is a place of possibility, a place of courage, a place of comfort. It is good to be together.
Hey, there's a room full of people. People who want to be together, right? That makes perfect sense. And so there are faces that are here long familiar in this building, and folks here for the very first time, and folks in between. So I invite you to take a moment and to say hello to the people around you with a sense of your own groundedness and in a way that's meaningful, and to work together to make sure everyone is greeted well. I invite you to say hello. Thank you, everyone. For those who cannot see for one reason or another, I am modeling turning off my cell phone as an invitation to everyone to do the same if it hasn't happened yet. Our opening words are meant to open us, right? To take us another piece into our time together. This morning, our opening words are by Julian Jamaica Soto, who you may know as Teresa Soto, or for a while, Ninan Soto. What Julian says these days is that they are always in motion, or usually in motion, and so are their names. So this is the Soto that you have perhaps known and loved for a number of years. We've shared their words often. But this reading, Bring Your Broken Alleluia Here, is by Julian Jamaica Soto, at least this morning. And will be offered and read by Christy Barden. Thank you, Christy.
Hallelujah! 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 Bring your broken hallelujah here. Bring the large one that's beyond repair. Bring the small one. It's too soft to share. Bring your broken hallelujah here. I know people have told you that before you can give, you have to get yourself together. They overstate the value of perfectionism by a lot. Or they forgot. You are the gift. We all bring some broken things and dreams and long-lost hopes. But here, together, we reach within a community that we can begin again, and from the pieces make something new. There's a lot of work for you to do. We wait for you.
Thank you, Christy. Bring your broken alleluia here. Bring the large one that's beyond repair. Bring the small one that's too soft, maybe too soft yet to share. Bring your tremendous joy as well, if that's what's in your heart this morning, or your gratitude, or the sudden realization you've had recently that you can tell already is maybe about to change your life. In other words, here's our invitation to recognize and to bring to this time what is in your heart, to honor it by recognizing it and taking a moment to do that. So we'll take a moment to feel out in our bodies what's going on in us. What is it that we're carrying with us today, right in this moment? It might surprise you. I invite you to listen within for a moment, look within, feel within, and see what's most resonant there. Our weekly ritual to mark that which you're discovering, finding there, our weekly ritual most of the time is to invite people to come take a stone from the table here, place it in the bowl of water. Let the stone represent what you hold. Let the bowl represent all that holds you, including us here in this room and on Zoom. If you're on Zoom, the equivalent of placing a stone can be typing a 0 or an O in the chat. Or maybe you on Zoom actually want to type a little bit of what it is that you carry to name that in words. That's one of the gifts of being on Zoom, you get to do that. I invite us to enter this time staying thoughtful, right? Staying centered with who we are, but also aware of who's with us, without knowing exactly what they're carrying, but maybe actually sensing it. And along the way, as we do this, there'll be gentle music to hold us, and at some point we'll start singing another of Melanie DeMoore's really wonderful, powerful songs, Sending You Light. In this moment, I invite you to stay within and to consider placing a stone or typing into the chat. am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in Our prayer and meditation, Holy Quiet, by Julian Jamaica Soto. My prayers for these stressful days have become sharpened, unadorned, a single word to the bereaved and wailing Mother God, mercy. Two words to the infinite child God on trial in an unjust system, tender love. And for the God who is not a white-robed, bearded father, but a migrant laborer daddy with a red baseball cap who only cries when he thinks no one can see, not a word, but a silent squeeze of his calloused hand to telegraph reconciliation, wholeness. There was a time when more words brought comfort, but now my heart wants most to be true, ready for resistance by unapologetic clarity, and fueled by moving toward a future in which we have made all of us free.
Carrie Newcomer wrote this November 9th, just about a week ago. I had an early GPS unit I called Jane. She had a BBC British accent. She sounded book savvy and tapped in. She sounded like she knew what was going on in the bigger picture and how it was intimately connected to all the smaller roads. When I missed a turn or got turned around, she would politely call out from within her electronic box set up on the dashboard, recalculating, recalibrating. I appreciated her calm and generally genteel attitude. It always felt like encouragement. Honey, there is nothing to fear. These things are going to happen, and eventually we are going to get there, just a little later than you planned. Recalculating, recalibrating. Honey, it's all right to pull out a paper map if you need to. Because sometimes you just have to place your finger directly on the name of the place you most want to go. Sometimes you need to pull over the car and get out of the mindless stream of traffic. Check the side mirrors and get a bead on true north or due west or back east or basically south. It's all right to consider your option while your overworked engine hisses and ticks and cools a little. Recalculating, recalibrating. Jane only actually knew what she was programmed to know. But I appreciated her manner of dealing with the mistake, mishap, or the unexpected. This is when we pay attention, in those vulnerable moments when we missed the exit, or misjudged timing, or lose our bearings. This is unknown territory, but not without direction. There are still on-ramps and off-ramps, intersections and U-turns. There are still landmarks, even when there are no signs. There is still reliable inner guidance, and there is still a way. Recalculating, recalibrating.
Beth not only finds great poems, but delivers them so well. This is unknown territory, but not without direction. There are still on-ramps and off-ramps, intersections and U-turns. There are still landmarks, even when there are no signs. There is still reliable inner guidance, and there is still a way. Recalculating, recalibrating. Are you feeling it? Feel what? Your body at this moment, we've been sitting well, may need a little recalibrating. Feel free to stretch your back quietly, or do a little physical recalibrating. Help us do some internal recalibrating. When I was young, growing up in rural Michigan, surrounded by fields of hay and corn and sometimes oats or wheat or rye, my family lived a few hundred feet from a red barn that had once belonged to the old farmhouse that was our home. So, given Michigan winters, when I read in the Little House on the Prairie books by Laura Ingalls Wilder of Pa, getting lost in a blizzard all night in his own backyard, and of farmers losing sight of their homes in a whiteout between their barn and their house, wandering off and freezing to death. I could imagine the possibility. I learned that some farmers would string a rope between the back door of their house and their barn when a blizzard was approaching, so they wouldn't get lost. Well, because of the lakes that surround Michigan and temper the weather much of the time, Michigan doesn't often get that level of blizzard that the Plain States do. And Laura Ingalls Wilder's tales, it is rightly noted, whitewash the Ingalls family's illegal occupation of native lands to build those little houses on the Kansas prairie. Still, that storm story has stayed with me all these years. It's an image we share in our Starting Point series for people who are wanting to know more about this tradition and this congregation and what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist. We use it to talk about our soteriology, of course, our unique take on salvation. It's not a word we use a lot. It comes, this reflection, via a piece by Parker Palmer from his book, A Hidden Wholeness, and it has relevance for this moment. After naming that idea of the rope that farmers would draw a string and hold on to between the house and the barn, he reflects on that metaphor this way. Today, we live in blizzards of other kinds. It swirls around us. He wrote this years ago, so this isn't speaking to this moment, except it's speaking to this moment. Today, we live in blizzards of other kinds. It swirls around us as economic injustice, ecological ruin, physical and spiritual violence, and their inevitable outcome, war. It swirls within us as fear and frenzy, greed and deceit, and indifference to the suffering of others. We all know stories of people who have wandered off into this madness and been separated from their own souls, losing their moral bearings and even their mortal lives. Some of us fear that we or those we love will become lost in the storm. Some of us are lost at this moment and are trying to find our way home. Some are lost without knowing it. And some are using the blizzard as cover while cynically exploiting its chaos for private gain. Again, written years ago, about 16 years ago, I think. Scott Taylor then picks up this thread from Parker Palmer to point out that that image of trying to hold on to a rope, holding on to a lifeline in the middle of a blizzard, describes how many Unitarian Universalists see the human condition and struggle. Every religion tries to identify what's the struggle for humanity and what's the solution. So Unitarian Universalists are most likely to say that it's not about us humans being inherently flawed and in need of saving. It's the understanding that we can get lost sometimes in the inevitable storms of life, those blizzards that come, leaving us feeling disconnected from ourselves, from each other, from our values, from the goodness and giftedness of life, from spirit, from God, from what we know to be true. We can get disoriented and disconnected. For us UUs, Taylor says, religion is not about believing the right things, but instead about restoring and maintaining those connections that bring human wholeness and flourishing. You might say, he writes, that we focus more on the lifelines than the beliefs. Putting up and holding on to and helping each other find and hold on to whatever will guide us home and help us not get lost, whatever that rope may be for each of us in a given part of our life. What we try to prevent or try to repair in life is that separation, that disconnection, that getting lost. That, we say, is the human challenge. As Carrie Newcomer put it, this is when we pay attention. in those vulnerable moments when we missed the exit, or misjudged timing, or lose our bearings. It's been a week and a half since the election. Seems like a very long time, doesn't it, already? The election and its layers of realities are already a powerful, disorienting blizzard for about half the nation. Already, and certainly in the months to come, it will be easy at times to get lost in the flurry of whiteouts in our own backyard. Maybe just a short distance from what is home, in fact. The destabilizing of truth and trust that has already fostered so much disconnection from other people, from shared goals, from a sense of safety and security. And these howling winds are sure to keep howling because people keep feeling isolated and disconnected, and that serves authoritarian ends. So our goal is not to do that. Can we string a rope? Can we hang on? Just by gathering in shared community like this, we help embody connection, just starting that simply and very close in. And ideally, what we do together when we're here, when we're together anywhere, ideally everything we do together here helps us to hang on, stay connected, reconnect, find our bearings. That's why last Sunday we started to explore the extent of what has been lost already, to the extent that we can recognize it. We started to name out loud what we've lost already. Daniel Hunter points out that in 2016, many people never really acknowledged and grieved what was lost in that election and its aftermath, and so continued to be shocked by what was happening. I can't believe he's doing that. Sometimes things are as bad as they seem. And not really facing what was being lost and not grieving those losses, he says, was a strategic error. That's for the heady folks. The heart folks will get it. That was a strategic error. It prevented many people from more productively addressing what was happening. Don't spend years in a daze thinking, I can't believe this is happening in this country, he advises. Believe it. Believe it now. And let our grieving about that be part of what helps us move forward into what's next. If we don't do that, we're going to continue to be shocked and appalled and not actually doing what needs to be done. That's why we took time last Sunday to try to start the challenging work of discovering and feeling and facing those losses, the losses of this time, so we won't get stuck in them. That work's going to continue, and it's certain that we'll keep recognizing and grieving more losses in the years ahead. We can anticipate that. And I invite us to keep chronicling them, keep recognizing them. And if you're a person who has lost hope, really lost hope, it's important to know that that's okay. You don't have to be other than you are. In fact, my grief mentor taught me that for a person who has truly lost hope, the only way to regain hope eventually is to recognize that you lost it. That's the starting place. So if you don't have hope, that's okay. I invite you to recognize that. That's what you're going to need to be able to regain it. And you can trust that other people who are able to hold hope are going to hold on to hope for you until you can grab onto it again, until you can pick it up again. So I'm curious, if you're willing and feel safe enough to identify, I'm curious, who has that sense of having lost hope? You're there. You've lost hope. It's okay. It's an okay place to be. Who feels like you've got hope? You're hanging on to hope. You're one of those people that's going to hold hope for people. And who feels like they're in between? Yeah. Thank you. Recalculating. Recalibrating. It may help to know that the human tendency is to weave back and forth between making too much and too little of loss. That's going to be the trip, right? For a while, it's going to feel like we're making too much of it, and then it's going to feel like we're making too little of it. And that's the journey. And we're going to have to follow our own rhythms to dip into the loss in the amounts we can handle. right? We don't have to dive in and drown in it, dip into and get the amount that we can actually work with. And this is also that we got this started, not because we finished that process last Sunday, right? The listing and the grieving, but to practice together what that is so that we can use it when the times come up. And they're going to keep cycling around. So to really get a grip on what's lost. That was our work last week. So today we turn to the second set of discoveries that's going to be necessary if we want our grief to actually be transformative and not just debilitating. And it may be too soon to get very far with this for some of us. But again, this is simply to practice it together. So it's a tool you have when you do need it, when you are ready for it. Because the truth is, no matter how deep and painful any loss in our life, even the worst losses you can imagine, unless we have died, and maybe even then, not everything is lost. Not everything is lost. It's hard to see that at first if it's a really painful loss, but not everything is lost. That's a true statement, of course. Important life-sustaining things are left. So the turn we're going to make today, when we're ready, ultimately, is to discover what remains. There are still landmarks, as Carrie Newcomer put it, even when there are no signs. So last Sunday, we shattered a beautiful blue pot to embody that sense of what feels shattered lately in our lives. That's to give us a physical version of it. And we placed those fragments in the bowl of water that you yourselves had brought from your homes and lives, waters of love and sacred tears and sweat and anguish and hope. It was holy water indeed. Those broken fragments of the pot were held in this bowl much of this week. With today's turn toward what is left, Gail and Beth will gradually be removing those jagged fragments from the water as we name the things that are not lost, so that later in the service, you'll have a chance, if you want, to take a fragment home with you. You'll have a chance to pick up a fragment and take it with you as a tangible reminder of what is not lost and of what may yet become ingredients for what's possible. And if you need, to honor the next loss too, right? A physical, tangible reminder. To prepare us for that, and I offer the insight of Heather Cox Richardson. So a few things to help us get ready for that recognizing. Heather says, you've probably had in your life an experience that you didn't think you would make it through, didn't think you could make it through, and you did. If you have, she invites us, let that fact of your own experience be a lifeline and a window into what's left now. With that, I invite you to settle into your body, unwind if you need, help yourself feel most stable, at ease, at rest to the extent you can. Find the most restful posture available to you in the moment. And then to notice first that you are breathing, which is never lost, right? Until the very end. Even though sometimes our bodies do need assistance with even this, notice your breathing. Just notice it. What part of it do you feel most? Is it the movement of air at your nostrils or your lips? Do you feel it coming down into your lungs? Do you feel it in your lungs? Do you feel it in your abdomen as that moves outward to make space? Where do you feel your breathing most? And then without making any particular effort, I invite you to just let whatever's going to come up and surface in your awareness. Something of value in your life that is still here. Oh, what just popped in? Something of value in your life that is still here. We're going to call them out in a moment. That's okay. No. What goodness hasn't been lost? What still supports your staying alive and sustained and fed? What or who is still here to help you? Know that you are here. Know who you are. Know that you are. What is not lost? So Beth, you said coffee. Allison, you said each other. UUCM, this congregation. Sorry? Family. Morning walks. The beauty of fall colors. Food. Friends. Kittens. Gratitude for water. Family. My mother's unconditional love. Oh, powerful medicine. Music. Love. Ferns. Birds. Theater. Sorry? Art. Comedy. Music. Babies. Laughter. Cats. Sorry? The library. Our homes. Peace, flowers.
Colors and paints.
Oh, thank you, Evan. From online, one more time.
Colors and paints, imagination, our system of checks and balances. I have hope with that. Books. Love, my soul, my sense of humor and purpose, appreciation of music and nature, the sun, dogs, chocolate for now, my UUCM community, each other, and trees and plants and animals. My art.
Thank you from those on Zoom.
Baby giggles.
Baby giggles. I invite you to go another level deeper. What is not lost? I'm going to name the people with whom I am at odds, people I know and love, who are still working really hard to seek a connection. They're still seeking. That's not lost. They're still looking for it. What else would you name? What else is not lost? Human potential, higher power, foundational values, the journey, belief in goodness, compassion, empathy.
Neighbors who want me to water their plants.
Neighbors who want me to water their plants. Connection. Honesty.
Ability to go within.
Forgiveness. Suffering. A foundation of law. Gratefulness.
Human ingenuity.
Human ingenuity. Creativity.
Opportunity to transform.
Opportunity to transform.
Kindness.
I'm sorry?
Kindness.
Kindness. Fascination.
Plant medicine allies.
Plant medicine allies. The present.
Values and ethics.
Values and ethics. Wonder. I would note this blend, right, of very tangible everyday things, right? Sunshine, chocolate, spectacular, but very everyday. And then these relational, interpersonal pieces too. All there is part of what's left. In the same way that my mentor John invited people to keep a list of what's lost, like really track it, just keep adding to that list. Here's the second list, what's not lost. Because the more you spend time with it, the more you discover, oh, wait, this isn't lost either. Again, it's part of the move out of the grief, through the grief, so that we can ultimately head toward what's possible. So thank you. I want to encourage you to keep doing this as you're able and as needed, and to write it down if your spirit will allow. At the time of the offering, we'll pass baskets around with these pot fragments. I invite you to take one as a visible reminder to keep discovering both what's lost and what's left, and to remember that those are the necessary ingredients for discovering what is possible, to which we'll turn our practice in the weeks and months ahead. I expect that some of you may be feeling anxious to get moving, to get more quickly to action, to what is possible. So to close, I offer just 2 pieces of insight from the Waging Nonviolence website, and a wonderful piece by Daniel Hunter titled 10 Ways to be Prepared and Grounded Now That Trump Has Won. He wrote it in anticipation of the election and then adapted it for post-election. The goal of the piece is to get to the kinds of very specific, concrete action steps that are going to make a difference and that will be helpful. That's his goal, and he gets there in those 10, but he begins with these. For us to be of use in a Trump world, he says, we have to pay grave attention to our inner states first, so we don't perpetuate the autocrats' goals of fear, isolation, exhaustion, or constant disorientation. We have to start here, he says. His third bullet point of the 3 is grieve. There we are. So it's the first way to be prepared and grounded, or a way to be prepared and grounded. The first one, he says, number 1, is to trust yourself. He writes, Trump is arriving at a time of great social distrust. Distrust that fuels the flame of autocracy because it makes it much easier to divide. Trust your own eyes, he says. Trust your gut. Build protection from the ways the disorienting chaos can become internalized and make you question. Trust yourself. This also means, he adds, being trustworthy, and not just with information, but with emotions. That way, he says, you can acknowledge what you do know and admit the parts that are uncertain. Admit the fears nagging at you. Then take steps to follow through on what you need. If you're tired, take some rest. If you're scared, make peace with your fears. If you need to stop checking your phone compulsively, do it. If you don't want to read this article right now, he writes, and instead take a good walk, do it. Trust all these things inside of you, because trust in self is part of the foundation of a healthy movement life. As Carrie Newcomer put it, trust your reliable inner guidance. It's still reliable. And 2, find others who you trust. He writes, the constant attacks on social systems make us turn away from leaning on each other and towards ideologically very simple answers that increase isolation. Get some people to regularly touch base with, he advises. Use that trust to explore and challenge your own thinking and support each other to stay sharp and grounded and open. In a destabilized society, you need people who ground you. And so, we gather here today, in and through this community, even if it's for just this hour, to connect, to reconnect, to trust ourselves, to connect, to reconnect, to trust each other. And so we gather to help each other discover the ropes, the lifelines that might help us not get lost in the storm just outside our own home, getting from where we've been to where we're going. And so we gather to share what we're discovering. And so we gather knowing, or at least hoping, some of us, that there is still a way, as Carrie Newcomer put it, even as we are recalculating, recalibrating. And so we gather in the end, really, to hold everybody up, to hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up. So may we be, and so may we do. So may we do.
Hold everybody up is what we do here. Together, we share our resources to address our practical and spiritual needs of our community with our ritual of offering, and also to support a local nonprofit whose work makes manifest the values that matter to us. This month, 50% of your gift will go to support the Nevada County Community for Choice, an organization whose work has never been more important. Their work is to ensure that your sexual and reproductive health is always, always your choice. Those of you in the room can place any gift you care to give in the basket that we'll pass among you. And those of you joining us electronically can see the slide on the screen that tells you other ways that you can give a gift from afar. I invite the greeters to come forward. Thank you for your generosity. We dedicate these gifts to the healing of heart and mind of all.
So it sounds like we need more fragments. Is this true? Is there anybody who wants one that isn't getting one? Looks like there's still more? Okay, I think we're good. I love the care some people took in choosing their broken fragment. Just the right one. There are actually some people who wanted to take them last week, right, for their own reasons. I invite you, especially for those of us who are tactile people, visual people, to let it be a resource for you. Adam, thank you so much for playing today. What a gift. What a gift. Yeah. Toby, as always, thank you for that music. Christy, Eileen, and Beth for reading. Andy and Cypress for the AV in the back. Eileen for being our chat host. Shanti for the setting. The flowers are from the Transgender Day of Remembrance service yesterday. I want to celebrate that, lift that up. That's where some of the butterflies are around the building and the art too. The mosaic is by Len Jovanovic. Come take a look. It's made of broken fragments of pottery. Really fabulous. Thank you to Lori and Jean and Corey for greeting really so thoughtfully, especially when the room is extra, extra full. Carol Grant, Carol, is our lay pastoral care associate today, if you're needing a voice to talk to for a moment. Thank you, Cypress. Michael and Lynn, thank you very much, and everyone else who's helping with food, either before, during, and after. Thanks to Lindsay and Cheryl for being upstairs, and Gail, thank you for serving as a worship associate all month, including today. Next week, the turn starts to turn toward what's possible. And you are invited, if you have something that has been repaired that you still use, and sometimes it's even better, right? It's stronger or works better after it's repaired, that you think might become part of the setting. We invite you to drop it here off at the church by Wednesday. Something that's repaired in your life that you still use, that's part of your life. Citizens Climate Lobby meets tomorrow. There's a Beat Cafe on Tuesday, for a musical one, and a Jam Cafe, a poetry one on Tuesday.
I want to throw in one other thing. You're invited to wear clothes that have been mended next week.
Excellent. Clothes that have been mended are invited to be worn next week. There's an arts and crafts circle that gathers to work on independent projects and make connections. It's really been lovely on Friday. And there's a spirituality sharing circle, which is built around a conversation and silence, both. Sharing what you're working with these days, some silence, and then what comes out of the silence. If you're here for Thanksgiving and looking for good company, looking for kindred spirits, feel free to come to the Thanksgiving potluck. You're invited to bring the whole range of foods, from vegan, vegetarian to the omnivore version, and to sign up so we can have a sense of numbers. And there's a call for donations for the holiday bazaar that's actually going to start in a couple weeks. So handcraft items, things you've cooked, etc., that you think might be just the right thing someone might want for the holiday season. This and lots of other information is always on the website. Cypress is there. Yeah, I think that's the next one. So please check that out. And I don't know about you, but I got so buried in texts and emails during the election season. It took a lot of sifting to get to the emails I actually wanted to read. But I do invite you to check your email and watch for information, or check the website to get to the newsletters, the weekly one or the monthly Mountain Chalice. So to close, a song by Holly Near. Okay, this is a little bit aspirational for some of us, but it also speaks to the moment. I invite us to rise in body or in spirit and to sing. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. Yes, I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. There is hurting in my family. There is sorrow in my town. There is panic in the nation. There is wailing the whole world round. So I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly. May the elders be more wise. May the winds of change caress us, even though it burns our eyes. Yes, I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty oak to hold my confusion. Give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder. Give me an ocean to hold my tears. For I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. For I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. For I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. For our closing words, no words, I invite us to offer together a set of closing sighs. Here's the first one. A deep breath. Oh, here's the second. I invite you to put everything that's feeling in you into this third one. My friends, you are in good company. Find people you trust. We remind each other of this in case we forget in between time with these good words, this benediction that we offer to each other. So we're going to extinguish the flame, but we're going to take it with us. Together, we will carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Please join us for connecting and some refreshments, and we'll see you next Sunday in your repaired clothing for beauty born of brokenness. See you then.